Hello, this is Professor Richard Lynch taking you through some brief highlights of my book, Strategic Management. The topic is one of the most interesting and challenging in the field of business studies, but it's also complex and uncertain. It's not possible in these brief recordings to cover everything in the book, so the aim is to highlight some key points, chapter by chapter. In addition to the written text, there is also extensive extra material on the book's website. Topics covered include additional strategy concepts, checklists to aid understanding and analysis, and case studies, some of which have indicative answers. For example, the website for Chapter 1 explores two questions. First, what makes effective strategy? Second, why do companies fail? And there are some answers on the web. Importantly, all this extra material is free and open access. Just go to the book's website. You don't have to buy the book. And the website address is pearsoned.co.uk/Lynch. Now let's turn to Chapter 1. We will first define the topic, then identify a couple of key factors related to the topic. We then cover three core areas of strategic management and then explore briefly the two main approaches to the subject. Strategic management makes fundamental decisions about the future direction of an organisation. For example, what objectives should a university or college set for its future? Should it grow further? How should it grow? Strategic management explores the environment surrounding the organisation and the resources possessed by the organisation. It then uses these to explore and define the organisation's future purpose. New strategies to deliver that purpose are then developed, and it's this last part that represents much of the challenge because many markets can change. New technology can alter the whole picture and new competitors can enter the field. For example, who would have predicted back in the year 2000 that Apple computers would become a powerful player in recorded music? And you can read more about this in the case at the end of the text. Of course, it's worth pointing out that organisations requiring strategy can also be in the public sector, just as much as Apple in the private sector. Within the subject of strategic management, there are a couple of concepts that are crucial. First, there is value added. Every organisation needs to add some value in its activities, otherwise why does it exist? Value means profits in the private sector and service in the public sector. Second, most organisations need to consider their competitive advantages over their rivals. This topic underpins much of strategic management. Now let's turn to the next area from Chapter 1, the three core areas of strategic management. These are, first, the strategic analysis of the current situation. This has three subtopics: the environment, the resources, and the purpose of the organisation. For example, a university or college will analyse its strategic environment. This means examining other universities with which it competes in the higher education marketplace. This is then followed by an examination of its own strategic resources. What are its teaching and research capabilities? What are its competitive strengths? For example, does the university have a well-known professor or research institution? It then uses this analysis to identify its purpose over a period of time. For example, should the university or college grow larger or remain much the same size? The next stage is called strategy development to achieve this purpose. This essentially identifies the strategies for the future. For example, how does a university grow? By developing a new geographical campus, by recruiting new professors, and so on. The third strategy phase is called strategy implementation. In theory at least, this takes the chosen strategy and sets out the activities to achieve this. For example, new university buildings, new recruitment drive for professors, and so on, to implement its chosen growth strategy. Finally, in this chapter summary, let's briefly cover the two main routes to strategy development: prescriptive strategy processes and emergent strategy processes. Prescriptive strategy is essentially linear. It starts with analysis, then develops some options, then implements the chosen option. For example, the university reviews the various ways that it can grow, it makes the choice to open a new campus in another country, which it then implements. An emergent strategy is more circular and experimental. It starts with analysis, but then doesn't just choose one strategy. It experiments, keeps its options open, and tries various ways forward. For example, the university identifies a range of options for growth, such as some new academic subjects, and then experiments to see which topics really take off over time. This crucial distinction between prescriptive and emergent strategy is explored further in Chapter 2. Importantly, a leading survey of strategists in the 2007 Strategic Management Journal now suggests that the best strategic management comes from using both approaches, that is, both prescriptive and emergent processes. The reason is that both offer different but complementary insights into the development of effective strategy. But you'll only find a treatment of both these approaches in one strategy textbook, and you know which one that is.